And I know that you're a person who's also a futurist as well, in the sense of you're trying to troubleshoot the future and stay the course for the goodness of humanity.
Right.
And so we share that in common. But how can, I mean, besides fear, which is an amazing motivator and has been used, ad nauseum to try to get people to change their ideas, and it works. Can there be other motivators? Like, do we know that fear even works in the long term?
Well, I mean, I would hope that aspiration can work as a motivator and as making someone receptive to change, and it clearly does work for some people. I mean, like, people that are visionary, or a lot of the people that settled the United States, or that came to the United States, let's say after the Civil War, there was a huge flood of people who showed up, like the Carnegies, and who were,
The Rockefellers.
And all those people, and they were aspirational. And I don't think they were motivated by fear.
Were they motivated by greed?
Not at the beginning. They were motivated by survival.
Yeah.
So like
it's like pioneering.
Well, and so, I mean, it was also driven by technology. So the Carnegies, and I know this example well because I was watching something just yesterday where they were talking about Andrew Carnegie. His father had been a weaver, made really high quality fabrics and wools, and supported his family that way until it got mechanized. And when it became mechanized, I think within a pretty short period of time, he realized this wasn't going to work anymore. And so he made the decision to come to the New World.
Wow.
So it was a survival motive, and they showed up and they were poor and struggling. There was nothing wealthy about them at all, and I'm not exactly sure how he got into the steel industry, but he did. And then by the age of 45, he's like, part of the millionaire equivalent now of billionaire class in America.
Yeah. Wow.
So
there's a lot of, so when I think of Rockefellers and Carnegies, I think sort of people see them, and I see them also as their end state, sort of how they have lived on in history and how they're thought of now.
Yes.
And so when you tell a story like that, it makes me think of how much we sort of default to understanding people through where they get.
Yes, that's a really good point.
Right, rather than the whole thing.
And we sort of don't understand at all. I mean, don't even investigate how they began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have a harder time seeing ourselves as, I think this has something to do with, it's interesting. Okay, so I'm starting to think about in this conversation, which is, we never know what we're going to talk about. But in this
unscripted. Every once in a while, I hear about a podcast and they're advertised. They say that they're unscripted, and I'm thinking, is there another kind? But apparently
there is.
There is, where everything is like really scripted out.
But that's thing. But that's the thing, is that I think now that we're presenting ourselves all the time on social media, we're presenting ourselves. It's very presentational. This is how, and then the sort of conceit is, this is how I always am. I'm always wearing makeup and smiling and speaking flirtily, or I'm always, whatever.
Right, whatever.
Whatever is the thing that you think you're supposed to always be doing in your presentation. And so it's like you're judged by the thing that's on the outside and is most recent.
Yes.
And then we can't see ourselves in each other, because we are internally knowing that we have all these conflicting feelings and it's all weird and there's all sorts of stuff going on, but we don't see that on the outside. So it distances us from each other, because we just think, oh, that's not me. And so then we don't have heroes, we don't have aspirations.
Right.
Because we think that I can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure what point you're touching,
me neither.
but I know that you're touching a point.
Yeah.
That's right. It's
I'm fine with leaving it, but I
Yes.
just sort of feel like that when you were talking about Carnegie's and I thought of Rockefellers and stuff, I was all thinking about how they're thought of now and just understanding, oh gosh, they struggled and that
Yes.
was their situation.
And they made decisions, and probably they made some good ones, and then they made some bad ones. The other thing I was reading about Carnegie was that he was clearly precocious, intellectually minded, and as he's making all this money, he's like reading philosophy and probably theology and history, and really seemingly trying to navigate this journey that he's on, not even knowing where he's going to end up. But it seemed, you don't read things like that unless you're like reflecting or trying to reflect on where you're going, and just like opening yourself up to the possibility that you might need a correction, right?
Yeah, right. Like you don't know everything.
You don't know everything.
Right.
And then, of course, he ended up becoming a great philanthropist.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
it's all, but he always ended up also having enough money. So, yeah, it's very perplexing.